Of course, Charlie Hume, the other co-host on this podcast, big North Carolina guy, and he was the one who actually talked to Coach Stephen Tetto, which did I even pronounce that right?
Dibatetto.
Yeah, okay, I got pretty much right. He said that one of two things. First off, can you tell me about Benny Beats and what this is all about? Apparently, you were the DJ on the van, 6 a.m.
Yeah,
to
so
the golf
can I
course.
borrow
Is
your
this the
headset
thing?
real quick? And do you have any turntables? I know you have a mic.
Wait, when I think about your aviators now, of course you have an eye issue with the floaters that you're dealing with, but still, I picture the aviators on in the van heading to a golf course, 20-minute van ride, just trying to get the boys hyped up. Is this right?
Yeah, I would take the aux always in the van. Unfortunately, couldn't connect the turntables to the van ride and create a DJ booth in there. But yeah, towards the end of college, I got into it. I actually I traded KJ Smith, so Kenny the Jet's son, played on the men's basketball team at North Carolina, and he had this travel turntable set from Pioneer that he wasn't using, and he wanted golf clubs. I was like, well, I'll give you some golf clubs if you give me the DJ set. So he traded my senior year, and I started getting into it. And yeah, it was fun. Kind of on the Canadian tour, I traveled with the turntables actually.
Stop it! Really? Let's go.
Well, it was a nice distraction for me because golf's one of those things where it can occupy a lot of your time. And it's easy to kind of get distracted, maybe not necessarily do the right things from a professional golf standpoint, such as like going out, maybe having some beers after rounds on the mini tour level. And so for me, I would go back and like play with music and mess around and try to, make sets or whatever it may be. And so it was fun. I definitely I wish I had done it more and gained more experience DJing. So because there's a bunch of DJs that come out and play golf all the time on tour. Kygo is a big one. Griffin. There's a bunch of those guys, and it would be really cool if I could actually go on stage with them and understand it a little bit more. I want to learn from them actually.
Wait, what's your favorite mix? I mean, surely you have something you put together with one song, a couple different songs that you feel like, man, that this could be great. Now, what is it? You had to do something.
Yeah, I did. I listened to a lot of house music, but I remember hearing Griffin do a remix to a Mr. Brightside, and I couldn't find his file anywhere online, so I replicated it basically where I used a beat drop from a different song mixed with Mr. Brightside by the Killers, and it was a lot of my friends loved it, and so I blended that in with some other mixes, like All of the Lights Kanye with another beat drop. I just do a lot of popular songs, honestly, more songs that college kids would listen to. Did that for a little bit, and it's funny. Keith Mitchell was on a trip last year, and he's like, he sent me some song, just a classic American song. He's like, can you add a beat drop to this and mix it and make it cool? And I remember pulling out my turntables from the attic at my house in St. Simons and making him a quick little clip and send it to him. I don't think it was very good, but he probably has it. He could probably play it at some point. It's a little ridiculous.
Cashmere Keith has high expectations. Only the best for Cashmere.
He does. I give him a hard enough time though. So
that's fair. Well, gosh, now I'm just interested in hearing some of these mixes. And anytime I see you now on the PGA Tour, you have AirPods in your ears, listening to some music before the round. I just know he's probably listening to Benny Beats tracks.
Absolutely.
All right, so you kind of breeze through Korn Ferry Tour when you eventually get out there. You've spent the last 3 years on the PGA Tour, which it feels like it's been longer than that, but maybe it's just because you play so much. You're basically the Iron Byron, maybe call you Iron Ben. 37 events in year one, 35 events in year two, and you've already played 19 events this year. That's just insane to even think about how much golf that is. Of course, every week is so important for a rookie, especially that first year, to be able to play every week. Was that your intentions, is to play every single week?
Yeah, I think a lot of it kind of had to do with when I was a kid. I would ask myself, what would 16-year-old Ben want to do right now? And I used to play a ton of events when I was a kid, but he would say, if you're in a PGA Tour event, you got to play. You can't take it off. It's an opportunity to win. It's an opportunity to make FedEx Cup points, money. There's so much to play for. And I think a lot of it was because I had spent so long. Eric Cole's the same way. He plays in a lot of events. And I think it's because both of us played in so many mini tour events and so many events where we weren't making, money at all, to where now we have that opportunity. Let's take advantage of it. Obviously, things in my life have changed pretty quickly the last several weeks, to where now scheduling is changing. I do want to play more worldwide. I want to play in some DP World events.
Cool.
That's always been my goal, actually, on tour, was to, try to go play at Wentworth. Now I'm on the Ryder Cup, whatever, watch list. So some of that can now change too. But my goal is to kind of play a little bit more internationally. I think it'd be really fun. Maybe go over and play in Dubai, or play in, obviously we go to Japan in the fall, but and I've played in that the last couple of years. But from a PGA Tour standpoint, I mean, I always just, when I got on tour, I was like, I got to play in everything I can qualify for. Like, I mean, I'd be dumb not to. And I'm really good at resting, especially after weeks on Mondays, and taking it really light in practice rounds, not over practicing. A lot of guys will go and maybe are more range rats than I am. I'm the type of guy that just, I want to see the course. I trust my game. I'm ready to tee up Thursday. And then the next week it's like, do my work Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, go again. Yeah. So I feel like I kind of create little mini, I mean, it's not an off week, but mini off days, off like half weeks, where I go into tournaments feeling pretty fresh. So yeah, I started out this year playing 13 in a row, and then I played the last 6 in a row.
I mean, that's a great quality to have, of course, just time management and just having that awareness of being able to rest. But since you brought up resting, let's talk about resting on the PGA Tour and where you book your hotels. We had this conversation recently on the Putting Green Memorial, and we were talking about maybe where I'd recently stayed and had a poor experience. And you're like, yeah, dude, I stay in those like every week. Where's the grade as far as what's too low of a price that you'll see on, whether it's Priceline or wherever it is, that you say, you know what, this is the bottom of where I will accept to stay for this week?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm spending more than $200 a week or a night on a hotel,
a week, I was like, oh my gosh.
It's because Dana's with me. And I've got to make sure Dana's got a nice place to stay.
All right. So just
if I'm by myself, I don't care if I stay at the Comfort Suites. I don't care if I stay at the Comfort Inn. I don't care if it's the Residence Inn. Like I'm perfect. I'll sleep anywhere with the bed. And again, I think that goes back to kind of where I came from in mini tour golf. Just I don't need to have the best accommodations. I don't need a 5-star hotel. I own my own business. So like if I was working for Goldman Sachs or Lord Abbott or whoever it is, and I'm doing company travel and they give me a stipend for $450 a night, like, sure, I'll stay at the Westin, I'll stay at the Ritz. But I own my own business. That's right. I'd rather spend a little less, pay more taxes, and have more money in my pocket and put it in retirement. And hopefully when I'm 65, I don't have to think about anything, and I can go to the grocery store and get the largest thing of blueberries, and I can go to Chipotle and get triple guac, and everything's good.
Have you had one hotel experience during maybe your time on the PGA Tour where you said, you know what, I think I bit off a little bit more than I can chew this week. I'm gonna have to move hotels.
Yeah, I had one. I actually had one really bad one at the Zurich Classic a couple years ago. I'm not even going to put names out there of where I stayed or anything, because the Zurich's done a lot to me. But I had a hotel that made me question some decisions of mine. And it's I've had hotels with a lot of bugs.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen, and this is on the PGA Tour, I probably need to treat myself a little bit better. But
okay, yeah, and that was going to be my next question. Are we booking first class tickets yet on commercial airplanes? Or are we riding Pine?
Yeah, a lot of I mean, no, I'm flying commercial still.
Well, sure, but what seat are we booking now?
If it's Delta, I'll book any of them because I have good status, and hopefully get the upgrades. American though, I book first class. But honestly, as a golfer, I'm booking it more because my bags weigh so much.
Fees, yeah,
like the fees and bags. I almost, like, from time to time, I'll save money
that way.
Booking first class, because I'll pay $400 in bags if I'm not. So. Yeah, I'm flying predominantly first class now. It's
my man. There you go.
We're on the come up.
You've done a great job investing in yourself and your business.
No one is going to pick Indiana. no one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8 seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
And if they go through Cat, that means Cat at 11-1 could be Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The worst team in the WNBA is the Chicago Sky. They have no perimeter play. They're playing too many minutes. And Angel Reese doesn't have the help she needs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I try not to miss too much when it comes to guys making changes on the PGA Tour. And for whatever reason, this one kind of slipped through the cracks on me. And we're talking about the distance you've kind of picked up this year, all the way back to February when you hired. It was actually I met Derek. This is Derek Schmidt, trainer for Ricky Fowler. I've known him quite some time, and I wasn't aware that you hired him back in February, and all of the work that y'all have done since then until now, because you're starting to see where your game can get to, and it just didn't happen overnight. So talk to me about the process that you went through and trying to take your body physically to the next level to where, you know, you can hit it up there with some of the longer players now. And I just didn't see it quite right away, but now I'm like, wait, Colonial 183 ball speed. What is Ben like? This thing's wrong, because like it threw me off because I knew you as like a low 170s ball speed guy.
Yeah, totally. It's been an interesting little stretch. So I got to give Randy Myers, first of all, a ton of credit in Sea Island. I was working with him for 6 years, and the tough thing with him was kind of, you know, the recent move to Jupiter, Florida.
Sure.
And then also he's not kind of traveling as much. And so what happened with me is I was starting to battle, weirdly enough, kind of start of the season, some quad tendonitis in my left knee, where basically anytime I'd have a funky lie, or if I was in a bunker and had to put weight on my left side, I'd basically get tendonitis in the left knee. I'd get shocks or shocks of pain, and couldn't really hit them. Like, no. I remember playing in events kind of leading up to Pebble and kind of not trying to hit in a bunker. Every time I got in a bunker, I was kind of a little bit afraid to swing. And it wasn't until Pebble where I was like, and I play a lot on tour. I play pretty much every event. I was like, I think I need to see someone out here on tour pretty consistently. And so Ricky Fowler's trainer and PT, Derek Schmidt, I met him the week of waste management pretty much right away. I was like, I need someone to do some PT. Like I was doing my same training programs I was doing with Randy at the time. And basically just going through our same motions. And what I learned from Derek is he's like, you know, I can do some stuff PT wise, but we gotta strengthen this left side. And I kind of want to work with you on it a little bit if you're willing. And so, I didn't really hire him right away, but I was just paying him, you know, by the week. And
sure.
Kind of over time, I was starting to alleviate some of the pain in the left knee and was getting stronger. And then kind of what I learned is I was like, man, I'm starting to feel better out there. I feel like stronger, stable in the range. Like I started liking working out a lot more. Like I never really did a full workout, you know, program kind of on the road. And with Derek being on the road, I was like, this is really nice. And so, was starting to feel stronger. I was like, all right, well, let's see what happens. Let's push ourselves a little bit. And so I kind of added on more training, which initially was more PT, and started realizing I was hitting a little bit further. Then I was coming up on kind of major championship season, getting closer to the PGA and stuff. And I know Quail Hollow very well, just being from North Carolina. And I know how much power influences,
Sure.
Playing well there, taking out bunkers. And so me and Derek were kind of like, all right, let's keep getting stronger and let's do the right things and try to get.
Yeah. When is this? Like where in the calendar are we now?
We're probably end of March.
Okay.
Where I really started kicking it into gear. So we started at the beginning of February. I wasn't really doing a ton initially. And then we started training pretty hard in March. And just gaining power, slow and steady. I was basically, as you mentioned, a low 70s guy, and I'd been low 70s for a year. I'd have stretches where I was swinging it really well, and I in the summertime could get up to 78.
Sure.
But I was always pretty much low 70s. And so I started ticking, kind of going into, close to Zurich, really a couple weeks before then. I'm trying to think probably the Texas swing, Houston and San Antonio. I started hitting a little bit further. I'm like, all right, let's try to consciously, Steven Yeager's known for doing some of the speed work, but I wasn't necessarily doing speed training, but I was training way harder in the gym to try to get stronger. And when I go to the range, I would try to swing harder. Make sure I was conscious of trying to swing a little bit harder. And so kind of slow and steadily was gaining about a mile per hour ball speed every week or two.
Wow.
And now, I mean, I haven't hit any balls since I got to Jupiter. I got in late last night. I haven't hit any balls today, just trained, but I'm sure tomorrow if I go to the range and it's 85 degrees, I bet I can easily get to 185, 186.
That's awesome.
But my goal was to actually get to 190 by the PGA, because I knew if I was at 190, I could get over that bunker on 16. And I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to get there. And it's tough because I play along the road. Like if I had more off weeks, I would have worked harder in the gym and probably gotten there. But I was just playing a lot leading into it. And unfortunately, 16, I played 3 over and finished 8th that week. And if I played that whole even par, I would have finished solo second. So it's funny how distance is playing a huge role in this game. People are talking about the rollback and different things. I'm just trying to take advantage of what's out there for me, and try to be as long as possible. And, it'd be really fun if I play really well this summer and maybe team up with DeChambeau on the Ryder Cup.
There you go.
Overpower Beth Page. That'd be pretty cool.
How many big workouts will you get in a week?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are big. Thursday, Friday.
Big, like it's a full body workout Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're all training different parts of your body.
Yeah. We kind of have different programs every 2 or 3 weeks, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is pretty heavy. I want to be sore. By honestly, most weeks Thursday I'm still sore, and Thursday through Sunday I'm working out to where I get a little bit sore. So not a full like hour long workout, but doing like a 35-minute kind of warm up into workout. Like I never really spent a ton of time on the PGA Tour trailers and training, and so after being on tour and the trailers really for the last 4 months or so, I've gotten to see what other guys do with warm ups and stuff. And a lot of guys do rotational, steady stuff, injury prevention, whatever. I'm definitely probably one of the few that's actually throwing weights around before tournament rounds, which for me, I never thought it was the right thing to do necessarily. But after kind of going through it and seeing the results, I'm realizing what I'm kind of capable of, my potential. And I love the feel of feeling a little bit stronger when I go to the range and feeling like I have a chance to get a mile per hour faster. And really just like, I almost feel more control too with like wedges and different things with my swing. I actually feel a little more stable, a little more face control and stuff just because I'm a little bit stronger. So it's really paid off. Derek's been an awesome investment with me, and it's been a really fun journey these past, 6-7 weeks.
I'm on like a tab, like add to your cart situation with creatine. Sell me on creatine. Tell me why I should.
Yeah, I mean, Derek would be able to explain it a lot better than I can. I take probably 6 different supplements a day, creatine being one of them. There's a lot of research and science behind creatine for everyone, not just athletes, like even kids. A lot of it relates to neurological things. It's really good for your brain and thinking and focus.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
And this is like another investment into your business, which I think has been a really fascinating personality, a way to really get to know Ben Griffin better, which is your time on TikTok. I mean, when we talk about Michael Kim, he's like the guy on Twitter. He's the Twitter PGA Tour guy. Ben Griffin is the TikTok PGA Tour guy. So when did this come about? I, of course, found you quickly on TikTok. I think one of your first videos was I think it was the Farmers Insurance Open, right? Like, yep. Take a tour around with me. Let's see what the day of the life is like being a PGA Tour player. And people ate it up. They could not get enough of it. So just tell me how it got started.
Yeah. So Dana was like, when she was on TikTok, and she was always telling me no other golfers on TikTok. I had another friend, Jeremy, who was telling me, you got to get on TikTok. This is what this politician's doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, fine.
I'm on TikTok too. I'm on TikTok. That's where I found it.
And like, no golfers were taking advantage of the platform. And it's probably actually, from a business standpoint, one of the best platforms to invest in from a marketing standpoint, because it's where you have all age ranges following. Like, I can't tell you the amount of volunteers that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s that are like, I love your TikToks, keep posting. And you think like, all right, my audience is probably a lot of junior golfer kids. I've got all my audiences all over the place. And so for most brands, like, they should probably invest a little bit more money in TikTok marketing, for influencers and different people. Like, for me, I use the platform pretty much just to showcase, what my life's like on the PGA Tour. And that's kind of what we started with. Farmers Insurance was the first, I think, video I ever posted, and it got 1.5 million views. And we were like, holy crap, like, we got to keep doing this, like, especially if, a lot of comments, a lot of people liked it. And so I felt like I had to keep doing it, showcase what different tournaments do, what my experiences are like. All right, what's my life like when I miss a cut? What's it like when I make a cut? How much money do I make? How much money do I spend? Mm-hmm. All those different sides, because a lot of people are curious, and everyone, regardless of what it is, people want to know like an inside look. Like,
sure,
what do these famous people do when they're not playing golf? Or what's going on, like, before they go and do media, like all these things that you can kind of somewhat see if you're there in person, but when you're watching on TV, you have no idea. So it's been really fun to showcase a little bit of my life. I haven't posted as much recently, and I think it's because I've had a lot going on. I've had a little bit more success now, but we're trying to push that a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to engage with fans and have fans come out and say, I follow you on TikTok. I love the content.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm getting a lot of that. I'm getting a lot of the, Go Team Max Fly now. It's fun to have a few different, demographics kind of following my golf career. And
what about are guys showing up now with aviators? Like, are there super Ben Griffin fans showing up?
Yeah, the aviator thing's been recent too. I've been wearing them for a year, and now all of a sudden, especially on Sunday at Memorial, playing with Scotty, that's pretty much the most fans you're going to get on the PGA tours if you're in a final group with Scotty. And so, a lot of people were loving the aviators.
You got the gold chrome ones now. I saw you on the second green. I was like, Benny, those things are new. What's the deal with the sunglasses? You got the gold. You got the gold frames. Next thing you know, we're gonna have the gold chain out there. You're gonna be all dripped out on the PGA Tour.
I know. I might need to get my headset out there and start hitting shots with the DJ booth going.
Yeah, and real quick to finish up on some of this TikTok stuff. Like, one of my favorite top comments on the first ever video, there was a guy that basically said, a full fresh bag of Pro V1s. Just he couldn't believe you're like hitting fresh golf balls. And just so I thought that was such great content. And some of the comments were cracking me up. But who was editing these videos? Was it you with your DJ mix style, or were you doing this, or was this Dana helping you out?
Dana takes the credit for
she's editing
a good chunk of it. There'd be some events where I'd be by myself and I'd be editing at night. But otherwise, full team effort, trying to get the content out there and put the captions together, get the hashtags, whatever it is, to kind of make sure people see it.
I love it.
Just let it rip.
Yeah, the other one was Schoolboy Q, and I think Macklemore when y'all were playing Pebble Beach. That was looked like a pretty viral, popular video too. It's so cool just to be around. The game of golf too, right? We're so lucky to meet so many famous celebrities that you never would meet just because of the game of golf. And I feel that's a cool part of playing the PGA Tour as well.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, again, going back to what I said earlier, just the community in golf, you just never know who you're going to meet, and especially at the PGA Tour. I mean, so many influential people in the world. There was a guy, in the event yesterday, and someone in my group was like, yeah, he's in the running for like the next, he's going to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I'm like, holy crap. That guy's going to basically not only control like the monetary policy and stuff in the United States. I mean, the United States economy basically is the world economy in a way. It controls a lot. And so that guy's got, a big shoes to fill.
What do you know?
Yeah,
what do you know?
It's crazy. You just never know who you're going to meet. Entertainers, actors, all sorts of, Larry Fitzgerald was out there yesterday. He's strong as anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interested in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.